Hey everybody, Mrs. Radke here. So I'm going to be working with the circle template again. I just wanted to do another variation with this one. So the last time when we did a variation, we were doubling each time. So this time I wanted to, instead of doubling, I was going to be a little bit more like the first ones that we did where we're going to kind of stick with the same spacing, but we can start in different places. All right, so what I want to do with this one, and I'm not really sure kind of how I wanted to do this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from 1 to 5. And I'm just kind of playing with this to see what the design looks like when I get done. So that means I'm going to go from 2 to 6. So I'm just going from one dot to the very next one, like what we did on the parabolic one. And we're just going to kind of play around and see what happens with this. So this one is going to be a little bit simpler as far as being able to draw your lines, because you're just going from whatever dot was your last one to the very next dot. So not as hard to keep track of there as it was when we were doubling those, especially when we got on the back half. 7 goes to 11. 8 goes to 12. 13 to 9. 14 to 10. So you'll notice as we're doing this, we're kind of making a lacy circle. Kind of looks like over here, kind of a lacy circle that's inside of our original dots. So we're going to go ahead and finish this one. And we should have a nice little border on our circle when we're finished with this. So like I said, we're just kind of playing around with what happens when we do different things. So that way, if you want to make different designs, you kind of have an idea of what's going to happen with it. And it does make a difference the number of dots that you have on your circle. So if your circle's bigger and you have more dots, then your designs are going to come out a little bit different. Keep going. Oop, pencil move there. So that's another reason why it's good to use pencil when you're just kind of playing around with them. So if something moves, you don't have to start over. All right. So we're getting almost here to the end. I am going to keep going around until I get all the way to 36 with the end piece here. So we're at 34, 35, 36. All right, so that finishes out our design. So like I said, so if we go by 5, so we went from, I'm just going to make a note down here, from 1 to 5. So then that makes this nice, pretty little lacy design around the outside edge. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to use a different color and I'm going to do a different design. So this time, what if we went from 1 to 8? And we just went around the same. So we're going to do 2 to 9. Three goes to 10. So it's going to end up giving us a very similar design. So like I said, if you remember back to our very first spirograph that we did a parabolic curve. So these are all kind of doing that same thing. We're making a curve with a bunch of straight lines. It just depends on how far in towards the center do you want that circle to close in. So the tighter you want that inside circle to be, the bigger gap we need between our numbers. Okay, so I started out, what, 1 to 8 with this color. And I'm just using a different color because I think it makes it a lot easier to see what we're doing here, being that we're doing it all on the same template. Still going around to each one of the dots. So the number of lines that we end up creating in the end is the exact same. The only difference here is the length of each one of the lines. They're going to be longer because we had more space from one dot to the other. Just going to keep working my way around here. Keep moving around. Okay. And like I said, we're going to go all the way around. We're at 27 now until we get clear around to that 36. $32, $33, $34, $35, and the last one is $36. All right, so you'll notice with the new color that I did, it just made it a little bit smaller circle that was left when we were done. So it's a little bit wider border. Something else that you can do with these if you wanted to is you could actually go around and put lines through here and do your parabolic, kind of like we did with the hexagon, and to be able to make some other little designs going through there if you wanted to. So please feel free to kind of play around with these, make them fun, make them awesome, be really creative with what you're doing. And then remember at the end of the day, make sure you're taking pictures of your really cool designs that you're coming up with and posting those to Canvas because I would love to see what kind of creative designs you come up with. And that's with any of your templates. You can use the circle, the hexagon, the square. Um, Feel free to use any of those that you want and make them a lot of fun. Be creative with it. All right, I look forward to seeing what you come up with. Have a great day. Bye.